fellow YouTubers, Trouble8385 here. Ironically, this first video in my series, My Video Game Life, Sonic the Hedgehog, was actually requested by my son. As you know, today is the 20th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, and we saw the hoopla and my son wanted to ironically play this game, so I hooked it up and he asked me that I should make a video on it, so here we go. Now, for all you who are not aware, June 23rd, 1991 was the original release of the original Sonic the Hedgehog video game for the Sega Genesis. Now, there's a very funny story about Sonic the Hedgehog, because originally Sega wanted a mascot to Marble Mario, because before this time on the Master System, Alex the Kid was their mascot. I remember looking through video game magazines all the time and seeing game after game for Alex the Kid. But Sega wanted a new mascot to rival Mario, so they asked AM8 to develop concepts and characters for their new mascot. Now, some of these characters are actually funny. One of them was the Armadillo, which was later developed into Mighty the Armadillo video game. There was a dog, and there was a Theodore Roosevelt lookalike, which later became, of course, Dr. Robotnik, which was Sonic's arch rival. And they also developed a rabbit, which used extendable ears to collect objects, an aspect later incorporated in Rinstar. So a lot of these concepts were later used. But eventually, they decided on a character at the time who was codenamed Mr. Needle Mouse. Which, for all you don't know, even though a lot of people had hands in the creation of Sonic, the two individuals who are most known for Sonic the Hedgehog would be the programmer Yuji Naka and artist, I can't say his name, was Naoto Oshima. Those two guys are basically the guys credited with the creation of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, there was originally a fight in Sega over Sonic, because originally they had fangs on Sonic, but eventually they decided to remove them. And a lot of Sonic was kind of funny how it was evolved. I mean, Sonic was blue because Sega's logo was blue. That's why the character was originally blue. They have a lot of, you know, the attitude was funny, because the attitude for Sonic that he had came at the right time. Now, for all you who don't know, there was a point in time in the original concept where they were going to put Sonic in a band and his human girlfriend was going to be named Madonna, but they scrapped that, thank goodness. But Sonic the Hedgehog was not the original game that Sonic the Hedgehog was in. There was an arcade game released earlier in 1991 called Rab Moto, which was made by AM2, and of course it was an arcade game. It was a racing game. It was later ported to the Sega Saturn in 1994 called Gale Racer, and in the rear view mirror, if you looked, there was a Sonic the Hedgehog air freshener. That was his official first video game appearance. Now, I remember when Sonic the Hedgehog, all the advertisements for Sonic the Hedgehog, and Sonic the Hedgehog was the original reason why I got a Genesis. Now, I was going through boot camp in the U.S. Navy at the time when Sonic came out, so I wasn't able to get him till get the system in the game till 1992. And I just remember being the first game I ever played on the Genesis, putting this game in, and completely blown away with the speed and the attitude of the character. It was just, I mean, I spent so many hours playing this game. Now, my son, ironically, is a big Sonic fan, and he wanted to play this today, and I put it in. Also, since today is the 20th anniversary, Sonic Generations demo is now out. I'm downloading on Xbox Live right now. But the impact that Sonic had to actually be a rival to Mario at the time, and was one of the reasons that propelled the Genesis ahead of the Super Nintendo. I mean, the game is such a fun game that even today when I put it in, I can't help but sit and play for 15 to 20 minutes. The attitude and the speed of Sonic at the time was just the right character at the right time. Being a series that has sold over 80 million copies at this point. One of my best memories of Sonic the Hedgehog was I remember I had roommates back when I was in the Navy, and the first time they were there when I put that game in, and they saw the character, and oh, Hedgehog, funny. And then when they saw the speed in that game, they were totally blown away, and they all were end up playing that game. Like, the little thing that Sonic did was, like, if you left Sonic sit there, the whole tapping of the foot, looking at you thing, that no video game I had played at that point had done that. And I really was, at that point, honestly, I liked Mario, but I was burnt out. I wanted something different and new, and that's what Sonic gave me. So that's all I got to say about Sonic. So guys, till the next video.